Hello everyone and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. More importantly, Happy Halloween 2024 to all. Today we are taking a look into what many people consider to be one of the scariest movies ever made, especially back when it was released in 1978. That's right, I'm talking about the original Halloween film from 1978, directed by John Carpenter. We'll explore the origins and inspiration behind the iconic film. We'll learn how director John Carpenter and producer Debra Hill crafted the chilling story of Michael Myers, drawing on urban legends, childhood fears, and classic suspense techniques. Let's dive right in. The year is 1978. A low-budget, independent horror film creeps onto the big screen, forever changing the landscape of horror cinema. This film, directed by a then-unknown John Carpenter, was Halloween. It introduced the world to Michael Myers, a masked figure of pure evil, who would go on to become a horror icon. Halloween was more than just a scary movie. It was a game changer, a film that resonated with audiences and critics alike. Halloween terrified audiences with its suspenseful pacing, minimalist score, and relentless villain. The film's success lay not in graphic gore but in its ability to tap into primal fears, creating a palpable sense of dread and unease. The use of point-of-view shots put the audience directly in the shoes of both the stalker and the stalked, amplifying the terror. Halloween redefined the slasher genre, influencing countless films that followed. Its impact on popular culture is undeniable, with the film's imagery, characters, and themes becoming instantly recognizable. The film's legacy extends beyond the screen, influencing Halloween celebrations, inspiring merchandise, and solidifying its place in cinematic history. Halloween introduced the world to Michael Myers, a character whose name alone sends chills down the spines of horror fans worldwide. Michael's backstory, a disturbed child who murders his sister on Halloween night, established a chilling origin for the boogeyman. His signature mask, a pale, emotionless visage, became a symbol of pure evil and has remained largely unchanged throughout the franchise. Michael's character tapped into a primal fear of the unknown and the unstoppable. He was not a monster motivated by revenge or anger, but by something far more sinister and unexplainable, pure evil. This lack of motive made him all the more terrifying, his actions unpredictable and relentless. The film's director, John Carpenter, envisioned a new kind of horror villain, one devoid of a tragic backstory or sympathetic qualities. Michael was a force of nature, an embodiment of pure evil that could strike anywhere at any time. This concept, revolutionary at the time, resonated with audiences, cementing Michael Myers as one of horror's most enduring villains. Halloween arrived when horror films were dominated by supernatural threats and monsters. Its grounded approach, focusing on a human-like villain, offered a terrifyingly realistic take. Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, was resourceful and intelligent. This subversion of expectations resonated with audiences. The film's low-budget aesthetic enhanced its gritty realism. Halloween was a cultural phenomenon, ushering in a new era of horror. John Carpenter, a name synonymous with horror, wasn't always destined to be the genre's maestro. Born in Carthage, New York in 1948, Carpenter's early life was steeped in the fantastical. His father, a music professor, instilled in him a deep appreciation for music, a passion that would later become a defining element of Carpenter's films. As a child, Carpenter was drawn to the macabre, captivated by the horror films of the 1950s, particularly the works of Alfred Hitchcock. These early influences ignited a spark in the young Carpenter, a fascination with the power of cinema to terrify and thrill. Carpenter's journey into filmmaking began at Western Kentucky University, where he majored in film. His early short films, including the science fiction comedy Dark Star (1974), showcased his raw talent and unique vision. However, it was his breakout film, Assault on Precinct 13, 1976, a gritty, action-packed thriller that caught the attention of Hollywood and established Carpenter as a filmmaker to watch. Despite his growing success, Carpenter remained drawn to the horror genre, a genre he believed had the power to tap into our deepest fears and anxieties. With Halloween, Carpenter set out to create a film that would not only terrify audiences, but also redefine the slasher genre, infusing it with a sense of dread and psychological complexity that had been largely absent from previous films in the genre. While John Carpenter is often credited as the sole creative force behind Halloween, the film's success is also due in large part to the contributions of co-writer Debra Hill. Hill, a talented screenwriter and producer, brought her own unique perspective to the project, shaping the film's characters and themes in significant ways. Hill's contributions were particularly instrumental in the development of Laurie Strode, the film's resourceful and relatable protagonist. Carpenter and Hill's collaboration was a true partnership, their creative synergy evident in the film's tight pacing, suspenseful atmosphere, and well-developed characters. Hill's understanding of character motivation and her ability to craft dialogue that felt both realistic and chilling proved invaluable to the film's success. Together, Carpenter and Hill created a horror classic that would endure for decades, inspiring countless filmmakers and terrifying generations of moviegoers. The partnership between Carpenter and Hill extended beyond Halloween. They would go on to collaborate on several other successful films, including The Fog, 1980, Escape from New York, 1981, and Christine, 1983, solidifying their status as a dynamic duo in the world of genre filmmaking. Hill's contributions to Carpenter's films were not limited to screenwriting. She also served as a producer on many of their projects, bringing her sharp eye for detail and her unwavering commitment to quality to every aspect of the filmmaking process. Hill is from the town of Haddonfield, New Jersey, which served as an inspiration to the fictional town of Haddonfield, Illinois, where the events from the Halloween film take place. Halloween didn't emerge from a creative vacuum. It drew inspiration from a tapestry of sources, weaving together elements of classic horror films, personal experiences, and even a real-life encounter. One of the most significant influences on Carpenter was the work of Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense. Hitchcock's films, with their emphasis on psychological tension, voyeurism, and ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances, left an indelible mark on Carpenter's filmmaking sensibilities. Carpenter has often cited Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960, as a major inspiration for Halloween. The film's use of point-of-view shots, its unsettling score, and its exploration of the dark side of suburbia all found their way into Carpenter's vision for Halloween. However, Carpenter sought to create something new, a film that honored the legacy of Hitchcock while forging its own path in the horror genre. Beyond Hitchcock, Carpenter drew inspiration from his own childhood experiences and fears. Carpenter's idea of a masked killer stalking a small town on Halloween night originated from a childhood memory. Carpenter once had a disturbing encounter with a mentally ill patient during a visit to a psychiatric institution. This experience, coupled with Carpenter's fascination with the macabre, planted the seeds for what would become Halloween. Halloween unfolds in the seemingly idyllic town of Haddonfield, Illinois, a fictional setting synonymous with the film's chilling atmosphere. It draws heavily on real American suburbs, capturing a quiet community on the brink of horror. Filming took place in South Pasadena, California, evoking the autumnal atmosphere envisioned for Haddonfield. The town's ordinariness, shattered by violence, heightened the film's impact. Haddonfield became a microcosm of suburban America, taking on a life of its own in the hearts of horror fans. Featured in numerous sequels, each adding to its mythology. Halloween's themes of violence and voyeurism echo real-life fears. The film coincided with a growing fascination with true crime. The 70s saw high-profile serial killer cases, shocking the nation. Carpenter and Hill tapped into this unease, reflecting societal anxieties. Michael Myers embodied a primal fear of the unknown. He was a force of nature, driven by dark impulses. The film's voyeurism reflected real-life privacy concerns. Suburban living's illusion of safety was shattered. Halloween's legacy taps into primal fears, resonating with audiences. Few horror movie props have become as iconic as Michael Myers' mask. The stark white face, devoid of any discernible emotion, has sent chills down the spines of moviegoers for decades. The mask's simplicity is perhaps its most unsettling feature, a blank slate onto which viewers project their own fears and anxieties. The mask's origins are surprisingly humble. It was a Captain Kirk mask, purchased for less than $2, that production designer Tommy Lee Wallace found in a Hollywood costume shop. Wallace spray-painted the mask white, widened the eyes, and removed the eyebrows, transforming a benign image of a science fiction hero into a chilling visage of pure evil. The mask's blankness is key to its effectiveness. It reflects nothing back at the viewer, offering no insight into the mind of the killer behind it. This lack of expression makes Michael Myers all the more terrifying, his motivations unknowable, his actions unpredictable. The mask becomes a symbol of pure evil, a blank slate onto which viewers project their own deepest fears. The mask's impact extends far beyond the Halloween franchise. It has become a staple of Halloween costumes, a ubiquitous symbol of horror recognized around the world. The mask's simple yet effective design has inspired countless imitations and variations, cementing its status as one of the most iconic and enduring images in horror cinema. Halloween's initial release was met with a curious mix of reactions from film critics. Some lauded its suspenseful direction and Carpenter's ability to create dread with minimal gore. Others dismissed it as exploitative and criticized its perceived lack of substance. Roger Ebert acknowledged the film's effectiveness in generating scares, but questioned its moral compass. Pauline Kael referred to Halloween as a cheesy exploitation flick. Despite mixed reviews, some critics recognized Halloween as something special. While critical reception to Halloween was divided, audiences responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. The film, made on a shoestring budget of $325,000, became a surprise box office smash, grossing over $70 million worldwide. This unexpected success made Halloween one of the most profitable independent films ever made at the time, cementing its status as a cultural phenomenon. Several factors contributed to Halloween's box office success. The film's release coincided with the rise of the slasher genre, capitalizing on a growing appetite for horror films that offered suspense, thrills, and a healthy dose of gore. Halloween's marketing campaign, with its iconic poster featuring a menacing Michael Myers lurking in the shadows, effectively tapped into the zeitgeist, promising audiences a terrifying cinematic experience. Word of mouth also played a significant role in the film's success. Audiences, captivated by the film's suspenseful atmosphere and terrifying villain, spread the word, turning Halloween into a must-see event. The film's low-budget origins only added to its appeal, with many viewers drawn to its gritty realism and relatable characters. Halloween's box office triumph proved that horror films, often dismissed as a niche genre, could be both commercially successful and culturally relevant. The film's success paved the way for a wave of slasher films, ushering in a new era of horror cinema that would dominate the box office throughout the 1980s. Halloween's success led to numerous sequels and reboots. Halloween 2 solidified Michael Myers' mythology. Recent films like Halloween 2018 reinvented the franchise for new generations. The franchise's enduring power lies in its ability to evolve. Rumor has it there is yet another reboot coming. The franchise is indeed still slashing. Michael Myers' image is plastered on endless merchandise. Michael Myers' mask marked a shift in Halloween iconography. The costume's simplicity and adaptability ensure its popularity. It represents a cultural shift in our relationship with horror. The iconic score by John Carpenter still sends tingles down our backs over 40 years later. Halloween altered the atmosphere of Halloween night, taking the holiday back to its macabre roots. The film's depiction of suburban terror added suspense to trick-or-treating. Decorations took on new eerie meanings inspired by the film, redefining the holiday as a celebration of fear and fright. That concludes our glimpse into the story behind the story of the 1978 Halloween film. I remember watching this movie as a young child, and it was the scariest thing I had ever seen. To this day, I still rank the original 1978 Halloween movie as one of the scariest ever. What are your thoughts on the original movie? If there is another reboot on the way, will you watch it? Let me know down in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. Happy Halloween, everyone. May you receive more treats than tricks.